Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside the Cage. Fighter's rapid 4-second KO attempt. You won't believe what went down in the MMA world. There's a new guy named Yuri Silva, and in his first pro fight, he tried to be like Jorge Masvidal. It was quite a surprising move. However, Silva's making his debut at an Acesso MMA event in Fortaleza, Brazil, all pumped up and ready to roll. But guess what? The poor guy's octagon dream turned into a nightmare real quick. As soon as the bell rings, Silva goes full-on sprint mode towards his opponent, Chito Loco. And get this, he tries to pull off some crazy flying attack with his leg up in the air. Loco, being the seasoned newbie, saw it coming from a mile away. He unleashes this monstrous countershot that sends Silva crashing to the canvas faster than you can say, knockout. It's just like a real-life action movie. Meanwhile, Loco is in full celebration mode. The cherry on top? He takes the party to social media, sharing the glory of his 4-second knockout with the world. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of fighting this great event, where I had the opportunity to do one of the main fights of the night, Loco wrote alongside a video of his KO on Instagram. Fastest knockout in history of Acesso MMA, knockout of the night. All honor and all glory be given to the Lord. Without him, I am nothing. Do you remember when Jorge Masvidal turned flying attacks into the hottest trend in 2019? I mean, Game Bread made it an art form. Let's rewind to UFC 239 in Las Vegas, where he took on the relentless wrestler Ben Askren. Now, if we talk about Yuri Silva and his recent misadventure in the cage, surely his knockout will have some fighters thinking twice before attempting those high-flying moves from the opening bell. Cain Velasquez receives ultimate honor from former champ Daniel Cormier, laying down the love for his AKA buddy, Cain Velasquez. Here, we're talking about a UFC Hall of Famer praising another legend, so you know it's gotta be good. Cain Velasquez has taken down the likes of Junior Dos Santos twice, Brock Lesnar, and Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. And let's not forget, before Stipe Miocic went on his title defense spree, there were serious debates about Velasquez being the heavyweight GOAT, maybe even the MMA GOAT. Now, get this, Daniel Cormier spitting some facts during an interview with MMAfighting.com. I tell you, nobody wanted those Cain Velasquez problems, Cormier told MMA Fighting. If that dude was healthy and ready to go, I still believe he was the best fighter. Ask me, ask Khabib Nurmagomedov, ask the guys that saw him in the gym when he was healthy and he was good. Nobody was like Cain. And check this out, Cormier didn't stop there. He went on to give Velasquez props for being a total beast, even with the injury bug biting. Moreover, Daniel Cormier had some big appreciation for his AKA buddy, Cain Velasquez. On a lighter note, he had some prominent victories over fighters like Junior Dos Santos, Brock Lesnar, and Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. Additionally, during his chat with MMAfighting.com, Cormier highlighted that whenever Velasquez was 100% healthy, he was a nightmare for anyone. Cormier also acknowledged Velasquez's accomplishments despite facing injuries. Interestingly, Cormier went on to admit that he believes Velasquez at his best was even better than Cormier himself in his prime. It's a moment of genuine admiration and humility between two former teammates. He was the best, Cormier said. I'm telling you right now, he's one of those guys that everyone calls the best. This dude was the best. He was better than me for sure. Back in the days of February 2019, Velasquez hung up his MMA gloves after his last fight. At that time, he's officially retired from the pro scene. But here's the main point. Cormier's out here playing the what-if game. You know, the classic daydream stuff. He's wondering aloud about the universe where Velasquez and Jon Jones went head-to-head in the octagon. Whereas Velasquez's raw power against Jones's finesse, that's the kind of showdown that would have been talked about for years. Too bad it's one of those what could have been scenarios. But man, it sure makes for some interesting conversation in the MMA world. Experts predict bare-knuckle success for UFC sensation. In April 2023, Conor McGregor made a real spectacle for the MMA community at BKFC 41. You know, they handed him a fake title, and he's strutting around with it, flaunting his proper number 12 Irish whiskey like he just won the bare-knuckle boxing championship of the universe. Now, here's where it gets interesting. People, fueled by the chaos and charisma, are starting to dream up this wild scenario. What if the notorious Conor McGregor leaped to the brutal world of bare-knuckle boxing? And guess who's leading the charge in the Believers Club? None other than Eddie Alvarez, the former UFC champion. He's all in on the idea of McGregor taking on the bare-knuckle challenge. It's like he's envisioning this epic crossover event, McGregor style. But let's be real, it's probably just wishful thinking. The likelihood of McGregor strapping on the bare-knuckle gloves for a proper fight is about as slim as a toothpick. Even if it did happen, it would probably be a one-off blink-and-you-miss-it kind of deal.
I think he has a good style for it, just because, like I said, that fencing style where you're in and out, and you're not taking shots to give shots, and you're not kind of Mexican fighting. I would say that's conducive for bare-knuckle boxing, Eddie Alvarez told Morning Combat. He added, "That bouncy back-and-forth tag Urit style makes for a very good bare-knuckle fighter. Conor McGregor has that style. I think he would do well, just a matter of if he's able to get out of that contract and make something happen." If there's anyone who knows firsthand just how effective Conor McGregor's style can be, it's Eddie Alvarez. Although Alvarez had to hand over his lightweight title to McGregor right there at Madison Square Garden in New York back in 2016. It adds a whole new layer of perspective to the whole McGregor and bare-knuckle boxing daydream. Dustin Poirier's bold call out to Conor McGregor. Guess what's going on in the boundary of UFC? Dustin Poirier is throwing his hat into the ring for a potential fourth showdown with his longtime rival, Conor McGregor. It's like the never-ending story of these two, right? Now, Poirier, the former interim lightweight champ, and the current number 3 contender, is up for another round with McGregor. He's talking about wanting to shut up the Dubliner once and for all. So, Poirier's coming off that headline slot at UFC 291 in Salt Lake City, where he took a pretty high-kick KO loss from Justin Gaethje. Generally, McGregor's already throwing down the metal glove and calling a fourth fight with Poirier a must. And how does Poirier react? Well, he's waiting for the opportunity as well. I probably would say yes. Try to shut him, Conor McGregor, up once and for all, Dustin Poirier told ESPN during UFC Vegas 82. But even if I slap his ass around again, he's still going to be chatting. So we'll see. Is he and Michael Chandler official? I don't know what's going on. But that's a huge fight, Dustin Poirier explained. I'm 2-1 against him. I don't see another reason for it, but it'd be a huge fight.
And so, the UFC plot thickens, with Poirier keeping the door open for a potential round 4 with McGregor. The drama continues. UFC 299 clash with Chito, Vera announced. Last but not least, Michael Morales is on a mission, and he's got his eyes locked on UFC 299. This welterweight prospect is wasting no time after scoring a unanimous decision win over the seasoned Jake Matthews in the co-main event at UFC Fight Night 232 this past Saturday. Recently, Michael Morales gave his statement to reporters. "I would like to get the opportunity to make my return for Chito's fight against O'Malley," Morales told reporters through an interpreter at the UFC Fight Night 232 post-fight press conference. "It's a great event, and I'd like to share that with him. It would be 2 Ecuadorians representing Latin America. If the opportunity does happen, I will give it my all in whatever fight I get. I will be prepared." So after Michael Morales collected the unanimous decision win over Jake Matthews, he had some words after his fight. And dude, he didn't throw any names into the mix for a call-out, but you can practically hear the whispers. Something big is brewing. Meanwhile, he's taken down some notable names including Matthews and Max Griffin. That's like climbing the UFC ladder with style. "I felt relaxed, and I felt good the entire fight," Morales said. "We analyzed the fight very well. Funny, everything my trainer told me. That's what Jake Matthews did. The hooks, the kicks, everything. I was able to deal with it well. The strikes that he connected didn't do much damage. It was a good fight that I made and a good strategy that we had in place." Essentially, you can tell he's excited about how he performed on Saturday. It's like watching a fighter hit their footstep. Now, all the fight fans out there can't wait to see what's next for this rising star. Alright guys, that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you at the next one. Until then, goodbye.